Alright guys, so I'm going to do a quick demo on how to get your template ready for your origami bowl. So you should have received these templates in the mail. You can have either side, you can choose either one. If you did not, then you can go ahead and go on to Google Classroom, and I have put a template on there that you can print, or your other option is that you can make your own template. If you make your own template, be sure to use rulers, make sure that you make it square, and be sure to put a circle in the center using a cup, because this will be the bottom of your origami bowl. So the first thing I did is I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, and then I'm going to decide whether I want to cut it on two sides, whether I want to cut it on all four sides, whether I want to cut it on the corners. It's totally up to you how you want to do that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut mine. What should I do for this one? I think I'm going to go ahead and cut them here and here. I like to make sure that it's pretty symmetrical, so I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half and then half again. And this is going to make sure that when I make my marks, that I can make sure that they're even. So now that I've done that, you can see now I know where the center, I'll go ahead and mark that, and I know where the center is. So next thing you want to do is you can use a ruler to make your lines. You can use a rounded, if you want to have curved lines, I like to use like a lid or something. It's kind of up to you. You want to decide where your lines are going to start and where they're going to end, because you want them to be the same all the way around. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just put mine right on the dot and just trace it up to the top there. And then you're going to rotate it, making sure that you're going the same direction every single time. You don't have to. I mean, try different things. It's up to you. But you do want to make sure, like I said, if you want your bowl to be symmetrical, you want to do the same thing, whether you're doing it on 2 sides, 4 sides, 8 sides, whatever you choose. So there, I'm going to go ahead and cut, making sure that I don't cut into the circle, because that is the bottom, going to be the bottom of my origami bowl. Alright, so there we go. So now I need to get some tape. I'm just going to use very tiny amounts of tape, and I'm going to temporarily tape this into the shape that I want for my bowl. Remember that if you just overlap it a small amount, you're going to end up with more of a plate, and then if you overlap it a lot, you're going to end up with more of a bowl. So it's kind of up to you how much you want to overlap it. So I'm just going to take a small piece of tape. Like I said, this tape will have to come off, so please do not use a lot. You might rip your template and then have to start over again. So try to tape it the same distance all the way around. I'm going to get 2 more small pieces of tape here. I'm just kind of eyeballing. This looks like it's a little over 1 inch up from the side there. I don't think that taped, just kidding. There we go. And then this last one. All right, so that's going to be basically what my bowl is going to look like. Now, another trick that we did last year, some students have a hard time visualizing where they're going to score. You'll see from the video that, you know, he just lifted up and kind of figured it out, but I struggle with that as well. So one thing that we kind of came up with is we're going to trace around the edges where we taped our shapes. So it's easiest to do with like a marker. You can use whatever you have at home, but I like to use a marker because, as you can tell, this is kind of flimsy. But we'll draw on here a little bit better. So I traced, and I want to do the bottom as well. So I'm tracing where the 2 shapes are overlapping. And it's okay if it's not perfect. It can be nice and messy. Doesn't matter, it's your template. Okay, so now it's all traced. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully peel this away. And you can take the tape off. I honestly just like to fold it over. I don't want to take a chance of tearing my template. I'm just going to fold it over. All right, so now you can see where I traced. So now what I'm going to do is go back with my marker and outline these shapes. And this is going to be where I am going to score. Now don't forget, I not only have to score this part, but this is going to overlap. So that means I also have to score the back of this. So I'm going to go ahead and label this top. I'll put a B on the bottom. And then this is where I'm going to score on the bottom of my clay. Okay, and then that will be your template. So then when you lay this on top of your clay, if you lay this over your clay, once you cut this all out, you're going to actually take your pencil, and if you trace it while it's sitting on your clay, it's going to leave a mark, and then you're going to know where to score. Okay? So that's basically on how you do that. Another thing we talked about real quick I want to go over is in the video he shows you how to do a scoring rib. We do not have scoring ribs, but I did give you these PVC cards. So one thing I did is I cut my PVC card at a curve. So it kind of just resembles like a metal kidney tool. And then I can use that to scrape my clay smooth. And then on this end, I cut little tiny triangles so that it can be basically like a scoring rib. And this will cut with just a simple pair of scissors too. So there's a couple of tips for you. Remember when you're rolling out your clay to roll out with either 2 rulers, or if you don't have 2 rulers, you can use 2 plastic hangers from home, and make sure that when you're rolling that you're keeping your roller on top of the 2 items. Make sure you roll it out all the way. If it's too thick, this project will be a little challenging. All right, so I hope that helps you guys. If you need to, like I said, watch the video again if you need tips. Also, if you want some ideas with different shapes, you can go back and watch the other video and see some of the different shapes and different ideas for cutting your templates.